What's going on, ladies and gents? It is Darth, and we are back in Queen's Blade Limit Break video, the sexy web browser made for kids. I'm just kidding, it's not made for kids. This is just a small PSA about the new Awakened skills, and because I think that I may have confused, as a matter of fact, I know I've confused a few people on my original video that I uploaded. Keep in mind, that's just an overview. It's a first thoughts, kind of at a glance. I haven't had a proper time to actually take in and go over the Awakened skills, which are basically just the ability to add rune skills to add 2 more rune skills. They don't call them rune skills here, they call them awakened skills. So it's important to get the vocabulary right. So there's a couple of things, until I can get a proper video made on tips, like best ones to use on both your runes and your skills, because that's not what the video was for. But based on conversation, at least on my server, some people are already talking like they're about to make a mistake to some degree. And what I'm talking about is when you add a rune skill here, it needs, especially if you're talking about a red rune or above. Orange isn't so bad, but still, when you make a decision about a rune skill, it has to be deliberate because of the cost. Although they have made reform currency more readily available, it's still a very expensive thing to do. So people have to be very deliberate about the skills that they are using, because once you make a decision, you're stuck. So what's the PSA and what's the tip? Well, with the new Awakened skills, most people aren't going to have a 12-star warrior to get that second ability, but they can go to 11. That's free to play friendly. So when you pick a skill here, you want to pick a skill that's deliberate as well. This is more easily change outable. The problem is when you talk about something like barrage. Barrage is a very specific to a warrior. I'm talking about physical versus magical. There's 2 different types of barrage. One for magic users and one for physical users. In 2023, and to make for quality of life, I think they should combine that into one rune skill, because it's kind of stupid. What that does is, because of the amount of time and cost it takes to get one team outfitted with runes, let alone get the rune skills you want at the level you want, it's very costly. So, with a few exceptions of barrage, meaning that Captain Leliana here is a physical warrior. So if you had physical barrage on your rune skill, which you probably already have, it means that when you use these runes on other warrior teams, for, like, let's just say you swap out gear, it's less effective if you're not using a physical barrage on a magical warrior. So one of the PSAs, one of the things to consider, and I'm not telling you to do this, I'm just telling you, is that in this slot here, because it's very specific to this warrior, you may consider adding barrage here, and then if you have barrage on your rune, changing it out for something else. If you had speed and the mind rune and advanced purity on here, those are universal. You switch those over to another warrior, they're not limited to physical versus magical, whereas barrage is. You see what I'm saying there? So in this slot, it's just, I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is just a PSA because I can see the talks going in the very different direction. I said wrong when I started the video. No decision is wrong. It's just may not be optimal. It may not be the best choice, and because there's other options there. Just something to consider. Take it for what it is. Let me know what you think about this small PSA until I can get proper video made. And again, I just want to reiterate that my original video was an overview. I've been learning the same time that you guys are. Until then, I got some noise in the background from my roommate. Until then, I'll see you in the next one, guys.